Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I am your ever-loving Shorty. Today we're going to have a look at one of the many issue ones that are out this week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 1. And I know some of you at the back are thinking, wait a second, how is this an issue 1? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been going for a very long time. Yes, it absolutely has, but it's getting a relaunch. Well, not quite a relaunch, that's very important. It is a continuation, but it's an issue 1. And they brought some absolutely amazing talent for it. Not only do you have Jason Aaron, and this is like the second week in a row I've reviewed a brand new Jason Aaron thing, and I feel like that's going to happen for the next 3 months. He seems to be working on everything at the moment. But you've got Joelle Jones on the artwork, and I love Joelle Jones. I'm lucky enough that I've got a print of her artwork signed by her. It is absolutely beautiful. I met her at a convention. I think I once did a review of her comic book and spent like 3 or 5 minutes talking about the cover of the comic book. I'm a fan. Let's just get that out of the way straight away. She's also got Rhonda Patterson on the colours. And before I get too far into the rest of the review, I want to talk about the colouring, because I usually absolutely go off on fantastic, deep, rich colouring, but in this one it is a little bit more muted. Everything's a little bit more underplayed, but it works really effectively for what's going on. There is still a richness there when it's needed, but it's not bolden in your face in a way that would be detrimental to the story, because it is, weirdly, a kind of subdued story. There is somebody who's not at their best, who's living kind of their worst life, and if it had been like 4-colour Saturday morning cartoon kind of colours to it, I feel like it would have taken away from it a little bit. So well done for reading the room there. You did a really good job. Now, before we get into the rest of the review, and I can probably sum this up fairly quickly, Jason Aaron's a fantastic writer, Joelle Jones, fantastic artist. It's going to be good. But the big selling point, I guess, is whether or not this is going to work for people who've not read any TMNT comic books for quite some time, or ever. And that kind of includes me. I've talked in previous reviews about stuff from my childhood which I engage with as a grown-up, and there's really not much. I'm aware of Thundercats, but I don't really know if anything's happening for a very long time. Yes, they had the Michael Bay Transformer stuff. I totally stopped caring about those very quickly indeed. But, I mean, some of it doesn't even get carried on that well, like Mask. I had so many Mask toys when I was a kid, and there was a little comic book which was kind of bad, and the Legionaries, and Terrorhawks, and so much of this stuff doesn't carry on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles feels like it's been a fairly constant thing for me, though. I've always followed something to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up on the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles Saturday morning cartoon. Apparently kids my age in Britain weren't allowed to know that they were ninjas. That was too dangerous. And I've seen a variety of live-action animated movies. Go and watch Mutant Mayhem. It is my personal favourite by quite some way. But comic books have never really been the thing that I've moved towards. I've known they've always been there, and I know there was a role-playing game. And weirdly, in my 20s, I spent longer engaging with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the Strangers role-playing game than I ever have in the comic books. I don't know exactly why this might be. I've been a comic book reader since I was 11 years old, and I've been a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since before then. But I've just never really felt the need to pick stuff up. I don't know what's been going on. I know there is a Jennica. I don't know why or how, but I know there is. And that's about all I can say of the things that have happened. I don't really know that because it was a talking point on comic book threads for a while. And it was like, yeah, cool, I'm aware of that. But most of the stuff, all I really have going to go off is my basic idea of the plot from the old TV shows and the old movies. And that's pretty much it. Did I enjoy it then? When I picked this up, was there enough here to grab hold of my attention and go, yes, it's a good comic book? Well, first off, the thing that really did grab me was the artwork. The 2 3-point or fixed point perspectives were absolutely brilliant. Some wonderfully framed internal shots, a great understanding of light and shadow and architecture, which just absolutely blew me away. The fight scenes, absolutely kinetic. Some non-traditional page layout stuff, which could be tricky, but the art flows the narrative action through the frames in a really effective way, so you never, ever even second guess where you are in the fight. And this is done in a variety of ways, just through motion, but also little bits of where various art items are in the fight. You follow those and you follow the flow of the fight. It's really, really well done. And story-wise, yeah, it really does work. Again, it's got that thing that I love and I keep talking about, and again, it's an Aaron thing. I think I might like a lot of his stuff, is having the fixed narration going on throughout, so we just have an awful lot of what's going on in this one turtle's head to explain the story as it's going on. Don't get me wrong, we also get dialogue and a lot of show don't tell, but the bits we are told are done with just style. They absolutely picked the correct turtle here to go for a noir kind of feel to it, and that speaks to me so effectively. It did make me really want to give it a shot. Now, I've not added to my pull list based on this issue 1, and the only reason for that is it kind of lives or dies of what's happening in the next 4 to 5 issues, which is going to be doing a lot of setup And those are the bits where I'm worried I might end up struggling if I don't know continuity. There are people out there who are amazing by doing this. Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk run is one of them, but I didn't end up picking that up until it was completed, and I'm now working my way through the trades. I feel like maybe with TMNT it might go the same way. I might have to wait and see a little bit because I just don't know enough about it. But I've got to say I'm excited for where it's going to go, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to be handled. Can't wait to see who some of the other creators are going to do. I am on board, but not quite ready to spend money on it just yet. But it's a fine line, people, fine line. Anyway, that's it. There's a lot of reviews this week. You might even get a bonus one because I honestly don't know if I'm going to get through everything I want to read. But that being said, at least two of the things that are issued on that this week are horror anthologies, and I love myself a horror anthology, but I hate reviewing them. So let's see how it goes. Until I see you all again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye!